Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co host, Barbara, here with me. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I am. Hi, everybody.
Hi. And, the thing that I wanted to talk about today was it's something that I've been dabbling in for the past couple of weeks. My father has been dabbling in it, for the last couple of weeks, and that is AI. And it's been interesting because I think the reason it's so interesting is it could be something that we could all use. Like, for example, even though this may not involve the idea of putting in things into AI and computing it in AI and everything, they are saying that and this has to do with me personally, because this could affect me personally in a good way. Uh that there are becoming cars, self-driving cars, and are becoming more and more real, instead of it being just a thing that we think about or we think may be the case or may not be the case or something. It's actually become more of something that could possibly happen.
What happened? I'm
Well, no,
ready
no.
for
Well, you gotta understand something else, Barbara. Okay, okay. This is what I mean by real. You have to understand that they may be around where you're at, but they're only in certain areas. Probably Los Angeles may have been the first place that they were going to be. But I don't live in Los Angeles. I live in Destin. I mean, it's become we're not to the point yet where every town, every street is going to have them. However, it's slowly getting to that point. Like Waymo, this
and how do you feel about it?
I
It's
feel
already
great.
here. It's everywhere. I see them all around, and so pretend that it is in your town. How do you feel about it?
Fantastic, because
You
it
like it?
means, well, it's one of the things that's always been a problem with my independence. It's I can drive okay with somebody else in the car, but for me driving alone has always been a problem. I
Johnny, I didn't even think about that. What freedom is going to allow you to have?
Right, yes. And honestly, if I had to guess what my problem is with driving, I would have to say depth perception, because, like, honestly, I have never been able to change lanes well. And going in and out of neighborhoods has been a problem. Like, I have been in Uber cars and I looked at the front seat and I'm thinking to myself, would I have known to go out into the street when the Uber driver did? I just couldn't do it. I mean,
No, not doing it. Okay, you have a
yeah,
lot of limitations with your
right.
dress. You probably never would have driven. And then what were you thinking that you were going to do to try to be independent with driving?
Well,
Riding the bus and
yeah. I mean, well, I can take Uber now, but see, the thing is that now with these self-driving cars, dating might be a real problem. It might be a real thing. It may be something that I can do. I can actually say, I'm going to go pick you up. That would be something, to have me actually say to a
yeah.
woman, I'm going to go pick you up and take you to a restaurant. That's something that's never been in the
Oh,
cards for me.
and
And
don't because she might say, "Oh, I'm afraid of those things." Crap, and don't warn her. Don't give her any excuse
but
to
what I'm
drive
going to tell you
on
is
you.
this: is that Waymo? This is something my father told me. Um, the number of rides that people are taking in Waymo have doubled in the past year. Now, let me explain why that's good news. That means that the people who are using it were nervous at first and then are using it again. See what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Because
I
that
also didn't
means,
forget how many accidents there out there.
oh yeah,
That's interesting too.
I will tell you though, the thing about accidents. So I mean, it's sort of like computer viruses. You know, what I mean, as soon as they hit, boom, somebody can figure out a way to counter it. In a car accident, every time that something happens, there's probably a million and one ways of like overcoming it and getting around it. But the thing that I just find interesting is that you know we all sit there, and I honestly, the reason I like it is because there are certain things that you don't want to screw up with. Like computers got us to the moon, and and computers should be there for the things where there's no margin of error. And what I think is going to be neat is probably your daughter may not need to renew her driver's license. She may just you know she may be able to just have a car that drives around by the time. And it's just
That's many. I don't think she's gonna want that. But how expensive are those cars?
well,
If a car that drives you around, wouldn't that be very expensive?
I think in the beginning, yes, but it's sort of like the way it was with like for example, phones. It used to be like whenever they would come out with a new iPhone, the older ones would become less expensive because of the new ones that are coming out there.
I'm
So
sure
it
it will be that way for our grandchildren and then their children. It's gonna be that way. It's heading that way. And it's just like that cartoon I used to watch, The Jetsons.
right.
And did they had the idea back then when tons of those things in that cartoon, but not then. 14 cell phones are in that. But these kinds of cars actually that fly are there. That it's just gonna happen.
What I
And
think is kind of in
you're excited
yeah.
because around LA, it's scary to see. And even my daughter, who's 15, thinks, "Oh, that's it's very odd." And they zip around fast. They're in major busy traffic. We saw them a lot on
I
Melrose
know.
Avenue, where people were walking. A lot of pedestrians were shopping, and they're there. I haven't ridden in one yet.
Well, it's kind of like I haven't written in one either. Because see, but I think what's gonna happen is that once it gets to a point where because where any city has it. See, because like Waymo is only in a few cities, but if it gets to a point where any city has it, which is gonna be happening if the number of rides get lower and lower and get more and more. I think what I love about it is just the idea of independence, and another thing is, our parents get older and older, and we worry about what's going to happen to them. They're going to remain independent. Like, for example, your father. I mean, it's not going to be. It's very hard to give up keys. I mean, think about this. Your father will still be able to say to you, "Well, we'll come pick you up at the airport. We'll come pick you up at the airport." You know, your father will still be able to. I don't know. I never told you the story, but the my grandparents. One of the things that they really loved was giving us rides. The grandkids ride. And what happened was, I think it was my aunts and uncles. They very kindly had to politely tell the two of them, we don't want you picking up the grandkids anymore. I mean, your kids anymore because you're worried that you're going to get hurt. Because what was happening was my grandmother was having accidents. My grandfather couldn't see. I mean, it was really a really sad thing for them because you're taking away their independence. Um, and now it's like your father is going to be able to still do that. He's going to stay, to your Priscilla. Oh, hey, we'll come pick you up and take you for dinner, or and that's just
Personal driving cars.
what? What?
Can he send me his own personal self-driving car to do so?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it would be and or can you imagine like somebody saying to you, okay, we'll send you a it's like see Waymo is a self-driving thing. It'll be like a taxi without a driver. Can you imagine that? Okay, we'll send you a car to pick you up. Literally, the car's not gonna have anybody in it.
Yeah, and don't ever tell anybody. Don't warn them. The ways of the future. Why should you?
Right.
You warn them when you say send a limo and a chauffeur. No, you surprise them and they're happy. So surprise them with this. Okay, let's talk about the other side of AI and how do you, Johnny, use it? I've been using AI for many years in a small capacity with a little app that used to resize my photos for social media. And then I
Right.
scrolled down and I thought, what is this? And I clicked on it and then I started to see how it helps redefine your message or your social media posts, but kind of using it that like that, and you actually start to become a little more witty yourself by reading what it writes for you, and then it creates hashtags. That's nice, and so that was helpful. But then I realized the rest of the world was starting to realize what this was. Well, I've already been, I already know what that is. I'm so shocked that it does way more than I really thought.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And so it's just booming now. I don't even want to tell everybody everything that I use it for, but
I
I do
understand.
know that people are starting to make it to use it to make a business, to create a whole business.
Right.
Yes. And
Well, actually, what I think
so I don't know exactly what all it does.
I will tell you something that
business.
I don't know about. I don't know about business, but I can tell you the most amazing thing that I've seen it do. Okay, there is there are something called video extensions. Okay, did I ever tell you about that?
Yes, you did today. You described what you sent somebody that you created with AI.
No, actually, no, that wasn't what I told you. That wasn't that at all. This is something else. Yeah. Okay. Let me say. Okay. This is what video extension is. Is that this is what's really strange. Okay, let's say that you have a video of you and Priscilla in the grocery store. Okay, and you're putting food into the cart and everything. Okay, what this will do is it takes the video that you have and it will create it'll add 5 seconds to it, 5 or 10 seconds to it. Then it will show what you and Priscilla would probably be doing if the video had been longer.
Really?
Like it guesses. It guesses. It's like for example, if you are putting food in the cart, right? And then the video stops, the computer might think, okay, well, they're gonna probably put some more food in. So they'll make the video longer and it will show you continuing to walk down that aisle with Priscilla. And it might show Priscilla putting some food into the cart.
Or gaming or movies or
It's just that it does or another good example, this is another thing that you can do, is let's say that you take a picture, let's say we do a modeling photo of yours, okay? And I know you got a lot of modeling photos. So if you ever want to try this out, I'll give me one of your modeling pictures and I'll do it with it. What you can do is it takes the picture that of you, let's say that it's a modeling photo of you sitting on a beach boating, okay? It will make the picture bigger then what it does is it says, okay, in the picture, we have a picture of a woman sitting on the beach. That's you. All right, let's make the picture bigger. And it will guess what would be in the picture if it was a bigger picture. Follow me so far?
I'm asking, you mean as far as something in the background?
Yes, it's going to create what it thinks the background would be. In other words, if you were to give me, say, a picture of you sitting on the beach, which is probably you have a lot of them, and I make the picture bigger, it's going to probably take that picture and make it bigger, and then it's going to show more of a beach.
I've already done all of this. Did you know that?
You made pictures bigger.
The twin has been created completely. Sent a company
Okay.
my entire portfolio that I have on Google. It's public, and it's my body of work since probably the early 90s to now. All different kinds of looks. From that, they created about, I don't know, 20 or 30 images with backgrounds,
Right.
completely different outfit on. And they absolutely captured my features and
Right.
hands. Like, I mean, everybody is a little bit different than everybody else. Yes, the AI created my twin. It has not been launched yet because now I have to my voice. So then they're going to be able to do that with it, and then it will be complete. Well, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Just take one photo. They wanted many photos so they could. So when they move you to make you actually talk and move, and they do it from photos, not videos. And when they start to create you talking and interacting with people, they have to have so many different angles, so they have created a full effect. I haven't even seen that part.
But I will tell you that, like, what I have for, and I did this like on my own time because you and I have not met, but I have what?
Done this. I mean, what I did see, which was two people together that you created. So
I have done
yourself.
One of the things. So what I did. So, no. What I'm saying is what I've done is I have this thing where, like you can take a picture of, say, a bunch of three people that walk on the beach. And I basically, what I did was I took a picture of myself, I took a picture of you, and I took a picture of our friend and who was from Germany.
My life create anything with it.
Well, I wasn't. No, I wasn't showing it to any.
For that left and right, you better watch out because you can't just go take model photos and start creating different people.
No, you're right. I wasn't showing it to anybody. I was just experiment. But the thing was that it and I think it was like
social media generated images of professional models. Don't worry, nothing you have.
Oh, I have it. Yeah.
Okay. Your friends get it. But just shout out. People.
You're right. And no, I agree with you there because it's like if I was to do a photo of first of all, obviously, I think sometime in the future, you and I are going to be, spending time together. It's going to happen. So it doesn't make much sense to post a picture, Yeah. No,
Create it yourself and do it yourself with your software. I don't know, Johnny. I want to know that it a video of a person doing this next step, and I don't know how many seconds
well, I will tell you.
To it, and then how long does it take to add to it, and then
Actually, it takes about a few minutes. If you upload the video, it'll just add a few. I think it's added like 5 or 10 seconds or something. And you probably can do it with some extra work. You could.
Well, are there were companies that are creating these AIs? We're seeing ads all the time on television. That's what
I will tell you. I will tell. Let me tell you something that I've done with it that is harmless. Okay. Um, Mom, as you know, my nephew is autistic, and one of the things that my mom does is she creates a little thing called "Who Said That," which is a little. There's a game called "Who Said That" with him, and he puts little things on the board of who like. Well, I said that. I said this, and sometimes what has happened is, and he's not verbal at all. But what we've done is we've taken little pictures of him and then we made it into AI. Like one, he'll be standing on his head or running or just doing things, and mom will put the pictures on Who Said That. Like one time he asked me to, and it's totally harmless. Obviously, he loves it, but like she wanted me to do one where he was on a motorcycle. I did that. Um, oh yeah, yeah. I'm doing it for the AI, for this the Who Said It. So I mean, I think for something like the Who Said That for my nephew, it's harmless, because but and obviously he's not verbal, but it does. It shows the examples of what you can do without hurting anybody. I don't think the Who Said That is hurting anyone, but I do think that it's interesting. Like she'll say do one where Alex is hand gliding, and then she'll set up a picture of Alex hand gliding, or do a video of Alex running through the field or something, when
so doing things that nonverbal
you there.
things like that.
And
Self-clean.
I will tell you that I also do things with Zoe. Okay. I will
Your dog.
Yes, that's my parents' dog. I've done things where I've made Zoe sprout angel wings. I've made Zoe be dressed up like a bee. So
It's sure. Another perfect example here. Okay. Uh, an example of how very not just normal or common. Your mom is fantastic and fabulous and outstanding in many ways. I'm sure that human being, individual woman even enjoys this AI in her way, with everybody, every single
my my father.
everybody, when it's big and it can be positive, and I understand that you say it's positive, and your dad uses it.
Yes, he does. Well, my father
Was a retired
psychiatrist, but he told me one time that he's asked it for a number of questions on health and everything. But I think that for him, he liked it so much. He told me that he actually came. He said, "I really wanted to send the person that had been in the AI candy because it's so it was so." No, he wanted to send the person who made the AI candy because, well, well, it is very amazing. It's like you'll ask it a question, and I just want to say this. This is something that's interesting because this is something that I don't know if I told you this before, okay? But about I think it was a year ago, I typed into AI and I said, fun, just for fun, I said, okay, what can you tell me about the podcast Life, Laughter, Happiness? And it would say, we don't know anything about the podcast Life, Laughter, Happiness, Ron, Barbara, on my birthday, I think it was my birthday, I typed in, I said, what's the name of the podcast that Barbara Moore hosts? It was Life, Laughter, Happiness. And it actually said it said basically the description that you wrote for the show. And it wrote it all out. So it knew who we were. And it was just like that was a really good moment for me. Yeah. And actually, yeah, it didn't know doesn't it hasn't been able to figure out so much who I am, but it does know who you are, and it does link you to the show. And that is a sign that we made AI, and they have figured out who we are, and it's just really that's great because now when people research you, they see the show,
Oh,
and that's
yeah. And now that you tested it out and asked it the proper questions, then now I see the weakness, and now I know when to get you connected. Um,
it actually
it's a
said
matter of easy
it
things.
actually it actually said the
Yeah.
description that you wrote out. We interview the greatest psychics. I mean, and
No,
I'm paraphrasing what you said.
percent out.
Well, no, Barbara. I'm only doing from my memory, but when I read it, it was exactly what you had written.
Here on Spreaker for all of our shows.
Yeah, it was.
Stunning, really. And you know what? It's probably just a matter of me making sure you are connected to, okay, that GPT,
Yeah,
the one that everybody's using. It must be search engine, probably Google. So we need
yeah,
to
because
make
it
sure you're
did,
connected there
it
to
did put our link up when I asked it. It actually.
to put our personal links up. I'm wanting life after
Oh
happiness.
no, I think you understand what you didn't hear what I said. It puts up a link to the show. Yeah, yeah. Spotify, I think is what. Yeah,
For example, if this upon what it can do, how it's helping our. So we've had our show for so many years, but we are actually new this year on Spreaker, and
right.
so they also are way more in tune with connecting and doing that whole connection. So we love Spreaker so far, and also AI is good for writing, and also, okay, for example, yesterday I was using it to do a little profile because I got another cameo, so that was cool. And I hadn't even finished writing my profile for that, where people uh, could hire their favorite celebrity from TV, film.
Oh, you're on Cameo?
I've been doing cameos, yes.
Well,
I booked another one yesterday, and I have 5 days and 7 hours to do a happy birthday cameo. So anyway, I hadn't even. I noticed when I logged on there, I hadn't even finished my profile.
I'm on Cameo too. Go on.
There, honey, please let me finish
Okay.
before I lose track. Okay, so I noticed that I hadn't finished my profile, meaning my bio. So I was getting booked with just my name, which is cool, but I wanted to finish it. Then I wrote a really. I have them in that back pocket in my files, but I put it in there, and it was like way too many letters, right?
Right.
Characters, or they only would allow you like 100, or sometimes they allow you 50 or 100 characters, or 200 or 500. So what AI is great about is you could take it through a whole entire resume and say, hey, make this a
Yeah.
and you say exactly what platform, and you can know how the treatment for each different social media platform. If you get very detailed, it understands. It has so much training. And it then cuts it all down to exactly what you need, consolidates it, and if you want it a little different, it change it up. And plus, it's very nice to you. It is like you. It acknowledges everything you ask it and reiterates it as it says I would be happy to do so, and then it spits out something and you can change it and change it. You can get a lot out of the free app. I have not even ever upgraded. And I talk to people like you, my friends, and just everybody about it. And then time I do, I get like a little hint of, oh, I was going to use it for that. Oh, I could use it for journaling. Oh, I could use it for
Right.
manifesting my destiny with a vision board. Is everything. And kind of sit and think for a second, like in awe of what is the world gonna come to when we are discussing anything with an individual human being? Is it AI or is it
Well,
like reusing a bunch of AI? Or pretty soon can we not even tell? I can tell on the ads and they put a lot of different people together and I'd be like, oh yeah, they use a person's voice from the mattress guy who sells that everybody loves, and they mixed it with this one to change it. So, and they got away with it, maybe, or maybe they have the right to some of these AI voice for a year. I know people are getting booked left and right doing, that as actresses and actors. So it's everywhere, Johnny, and I know it's opening up so many doors, but I think that maybe there's people out there also that are getting suffocated by like the exposure of it.
so I
Also,
think
people love it so much,
yeah.
but are in just awe, or they go, oh, so here's my last thing, and I'll give you the floor.
Okay.
You know how you're doing all of those workshops, and I think it's great when you do those workshops. Maybe we can look at workshop that we could do where we could learn everything about how to use AI to our fullest potential.
Okay.
I love to do that.
I'll
Can you find out, please?
I'll go look because I think I already saw it. But I will go look up. I will tell you my thoughts on it though. AI is probably going to change. The one thing I think is going to change the most is probably the dating sites, and I'll tell you why. Um, it used to be that eHarmony was this big deal, and then what
that ran together. What was a big deal?
eHarmony used to be a big deal. But
Oh.
see, the thing is that it's not anymore, and I'll tell you why. Um, when you on TikTok, and this is what I think is probably going to replace the dating sites. When you when you see somebody doing live, more than likely AI is not to a point where it can make you think that someone is bullying. Yeah.
Oh, honey, again, I didn't hear you.
All right. I'll type it.
And then TikTok.
Okay. Let me reword it.
It's not a dating site.
No, it's not. It's not.
So that's a dating site. That's interesting.
Okay.
How is that linked with
Well,
AI?
all right. First of all, I want to explain why I bought a TikTok. I think what's going to happen is the dating sites are going to go by the wayside, and then people are going to go on TikTok because on TikTok everything is video. No, it isn't. It's for adults. The thing is, though, is that there are adults on TikTok who do meet.
Sites around children can you on dating around children can you?
Well, I guess the reason I'm trying to say is that the problem with the harmony, okay, is you see a picture. Well, it used to be you saw a picture and you'd think, oh, that's great, I see a picture. But now you don't even know if it's AI or not. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I can tell. Waiting for a big.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, you talk to people on the phone and then they guise their voice. Um, it's not just
Happened. Remember, you were telling me it was the same kind of message. And
right.
you're actually talking to a person that's kind of kept going
Right.
on and
Well,
on.
what that was I would call the person up and then I would say hello, hello, do a hello, hello. I can't hear you. Let's just go in there and text. And I noticed that I would hear that message at least 50 different times, 50 different women. And you begin to realize that what they were doing was airing that as an excuse not to talk to you on the phone. And what's happening? No, they weren't charging me by the minute. Barbara, but you gotta understand something is that texting is very impersonal, and you don't. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Or here's another thing that they'll do. Okay, just so you know, there is a thing that you can do where if somebody gives you a picture, you can search if the picture is used elsewhere. And what would happen is these women would give me pictures that I would do searches on, and then there would be some entertainer or some influencer that they would use, and I would call them on it. And it's so funny. I mean, when I would do it, it's like, yeah, hello, Jennifer. Your name is Jennifer.
Sounds like you're actually having fun with it. So let it work for you. I hear a lot of people have actual relationships with an AI character.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm not suggesting that you do so. Hey, if your brain doesn't know if somebody's writing back and it may be AI generated,
Yeah.
don't try to sit there and fester over it. Like, is it real? Is it not?
Yeah.
Go with it, because eventually you're going to find out. You're the human being. You're going to prevail, and when you ask it for a date, you will find out. But you have to put boundaries up. You have to say, I
Yeah.
need to know. You need to know in 24 hours. Are you going to go to the Moroccan restaurant, which, hey, you know what? Somebody actually listened to our show and wrote in with a suggestion for you. I forgot to tell you
Okay.
about it. You said that go over pizza, and then you had a problem with. I, I forgot to all of the details, but I suggested that you take your date to the Moroccan restaurant because if you're more comfortable in the position that you're in most of the day, you can tell them if you want, but that would be perfect because Moroccan restaurants have pillows. You lay on the ground and they have very short tables that have the height of very, you know, I don't know, a foot high. You lay there on these pillows and eat like that.
Mm.
That sounds for
Interesting. I've never been to a Moroccan restaurant, but I'm open to trying it out.
well, you can become more comfortable, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Personally, okay. So put in a car that is what do you call this?
Driverless cars. Self-driving cars.
Driverless. So what do you call it?
Self-driving cars.
Self-driving car.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be you yourself driving it?
I guess you could call it that. I mean, they're called. I mean, self-driving cars is what they're called. Now, if this,
Right. When you pick her up in one of those, you're already in it, and you get her address or where you want to be picked up, and you pick her up, and you have a little bouquet or one single rose flower, and you like pink. She would love it. And then with the little baby's breath wrapped around the little choo and just so sweet. It's such a thoughtful thing. You know what? Don't put red. Don't put her a red rose because that's too suggestive. That means love. You don't want to, smother her with this right in the beginning. You just want to say, hey, you're a feminine creature that I really appreciate, and you deserve a flower because that's what I think you are. And here's a pink rose. And then she's smelling that all day. And she'll immediately, if you see that, she'll get into the vehicle. You will, without, you will, or you will just, no, you won't even have to get out. You just extend your hand with your rose there. She'll definitely want to smell that rose, and she'll grab that with one hand, and the other hand she'll grab your hand that you have extended for her, and she'll get right in your carriage. Your car. I think it's a electric.
yeah. See, that's another thing. That's another thing. It's electric, and I want to explain. But I want to explain that. Yeah, this. Okay.
Batteries all charged. So call it. It's white or whatever color you want it to be. I like the white ones. You can see it. It's in. Okay, fast forward after the rose. You sit there. You then give her, I don't know, nothing else. Just say you're going to a restaurant, just be comfortable and it's be warm enough or cool enough, and keep it light, and then go to the restaurant. And it's Moroccan.
Right. But
They
what
have
it's going to
exact
tell you,
for, and then you will get out, go around, open her door, and you'll walk in, and then you'll have reservations, and you will lay down and have dinner.
what was going to
And
tell
don't
you
forget
is, yeah, what I was going to tell you is that, do you know why self-driving cars are electric?
why.
My father told me this because they can stop immediately.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's why the advantages of the electric cars. If it's gas, it's sort of it has to slow down, but it'll means that because it's electric, it works better. That's what my father told me.
And it seems like if it crashes, it won't just turn up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go into any stories about accidents with these because those were a long time ago, and I don't quite have my facts straight about it anyway. But I would get in one eventually, soon, maybe.
All right.
I'll try it. I'll try it out. Maybe not on a tower that is rush hour, because that's when I saw these so much all over the place. Probably are helpful in a big city, but cool. And I love it, and I'm so glad. Oh, well, anyway, I had, yeah, I write a little bio under the little minimum characters you can use, which I just love to be able to, state all of the facts and have it just put it together. And it's really been making things happen faster. Let's just say you can do things a lot more quickly now. And there's more ways to learn. And thank you in advance for doing the research, because I would really like to know everything about it that I can. Why
All right.
not?
Are you ready to do the shout out?
Thank you so much for listening to Life After Happiness with Sonny and Barbara. And thank you, Sonny. What a wonderful topic. We've been wanting to talk about it for a long time, and it was interesting to hear how you're using it and your family is using it. And we've got so many updates about it, I'm sure, because it's moving fast. AI. Well, everybody check it out. And please follow us here on Spreaker. Get all of our show updates and everywhere else. We have it all. Except for, you know what? In the future, I'd like to get it to talk because it's fun. And for now, we'll just send you over to our X, our Facebook, and our Facebook. Like after happy. Thanks, everybody, and thank you, guys. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.